All right, so the current status is this right now. We have got a we have got the first page that consists of the customer details, the customer details, right? And here we have got some filters and then a table that has got rows in it. And at the bottom, you can come and see there is a button that's called as create, I suppose. So let me just check. Let me just run the app very quickly. Uh, which binding will help us to get the information over here? How will that be an application binding frame? It has to be element binding. That means, or you can say context binding. What we are basically doing is that we are taking the context from this because every click will produce a different context, right? And on the basis, because if you just go with a binding over here, it doesn't have a context from the first page, okay? How will it provide you the relevant data for that particular record, right? It has to have a context with the earlier one. So here we're going to do the a context binding, or you can say that the element binding. All right. So once we do the element binding with the label and text that you have got over here, so you will get the relevant data. Okay. Then at the end over here, you will at the footer you will make a button that's called as the edit button. Now you see there is a relationship over here. This edit button actually is getting a context from here. This is the record that you want to edit, but you got the detailed information of that thing. Now you can go ahead and do the edit. So, again, the context for this edit button is coming from this, right? That has been passed to this. So since the context has already been passed to the detail view, can't we use that in the edit also, the same context, right? Because when you go for edit, you want the same records to come to another page over here, another page. Once you click on it, it will take you to another page that's called as the update page, update. So you can call that as an update view. In this update view, you will be having the uh, again the label and the input fields in it, and this particular one would be disabled. It would be disabled because you are not since you want to do the updation in it, you're not supposed to do anything with the keys, right? And which is why we have disabled the keys. The input fields, those are updatable, will only be left as enable equals true, right? The other ones will be enabled equals false. And finally, over here, you will just add an update button over here. And this update is going to go and do the updation. And finally, once the updation is successful, it will pop up with a message that updation is successful. And then finally, it will bring you to the first page. So you need to also put the codes over there in order to, bring it to the first page. All right. So here is a complex. Again, I'm telling you, here is a complex part because once you go into the code, you will lose how to connect to different views and how will you get the context. Because once you start writing the codes, then you just get trapped into the nitty-gritties of the codes and even the patterns that you're going to make in the manifest.json would be confusing for you, right? So need to be very clear uh, about this button because this button is going to take the context from this. Since we already got the context over here, because when we do the binding over here, we created the context from here to here. We took the path, we finally made the complete path over there, and then using bind element, we bound everything to the view. All right. So we already have the context. We just need to take the same context and put it inside the inside this thing so that it should this view this update or edit button should take the context and pass it to the update so that the fields over here, whatever labels and input fields should come with the same kind of data that you want to update, whatever the number of fields you want to do that. We can just come up over there with those details, and then finally you can just change whatever you want to. All right, so this is what the idea is. And now we will go into how we can code the code and achieve the results. So let me just stop it now and clear out our drawing. And let's go ahead now. So for that, we need to go to the first view, that is the customer view. And here is the view. We need to go to the bottom over here and just click on the customer view. In that, we're going to write the name of the control over here. So the properties, and we know the mode it equals, it is single select master. So this is the mode that we need to take, and the other one that's called as a row select or something. Row select change or something. Let me just go into the SDK also very quickly and check for the event name for it. Okay, so here we go to API reference and go for sap.mtable. And we come to the table. Row selection change, I think the name of the thing is. Event name is not there, so we'll go into the higher level and get the event name. It is called as the selection change. It's called as a selection change event. All right, so let me just copy the selection change event, come to this point and double click on it and paste it, and it'll just say on row selection. On row selection, just copy this code and come to the controller. Come to the controller and over here, to the customer controller, and let's go to the top over here where we have on delete. So we can just paste this thing on row selection and the function. After that, the curly brace and the comma and partition. And then we'll pass over here o event, and come to the bottoms. Let o context, and we need to pass this o event over there, and o event dot get parameter. Get parameter, and what is the parameter? You can just come over there and look for the parameter. It's called as the list item. So come back over here and pass get parameter. And once you get the parameter, so I'll change it to o item. And then I'll say let context, binding context or context, I'll say o item dot get binding context path, And here we're gonna just pass the name of the model that which we want to get the binding context path. We'll just check if the things are working for, and the name of the model is customer model. And let's see what we get from the out from the output. So we just need to go to the customer details and right click on it and come to the inspect and see inside the sources. And here we go to first the controller. So we have the customer controller over here and come to this part where we have on row. And if you hit on it, you see now it's hitting line number 29. And here we got the O item. And if you go ahead and you see there is a binding context over here and it says customer model. And this is what we can know. So it's let's see what we get from it. See, we get the S path over here. So we need to type S path, S path. So let me just show it to you. Uh, how did we get that? O item. So line number 30 is not still red. So we'll just go into the O item and console it and check how we get it. So O item, if you go inside O item, you will just, the idea is to just check for that path because that's a very important stuff. So if you go inside the aggregation or binding context over here, so you can just come and you see the path is there. So the customer model in the path is, so it is, it is itself saying that you need to pass customer model in it. So, and then the path is /0. So that means we will get the path. So even if you don't know about the code, you just start from the O events, flow with the code, and finally you can still come to this part. There is nothing to remember in it. Um, but the idea is that you should know what you want to get from it. And so let me just go to the code and hit the next line and see what it fetches us. If we hit the next line, it gives us /0. So we need to uh, get this /0 from there. And now we can just go ahead and so we got the path now, and now we can just um, once we get the path, then let index that we got from it equals O context. And how will we get 0 or 1 or 2 from it? So we need to just split it. You can just split it from slash, and then let uh, this will be array of items that we have in it. So, and then here we can have the index equals um, array of item, and it's array of items dot length -1. So this is how we're going to get the index. So once we get the index, we'll get the router object. So let O router equals this dot get router. And once we get the router, because we have already passed the at the app level, this thing, sorry, base control level, get router over here. So we can just say this dot get router and we'll get the router from there. So this dot get router. And once we got the router, O router dot nav2 and nav2. And where do we want to nav to? Can anybody tell me over here where do we want to nav to? Okay, route detail, a route detail. Okay, and then let's go to the manifest and look for the, do we have a detail view over here? So we don't have anything about the detail view right now. So let's go ahead and first make our detail view. And you know how easy it is to make. Just come to the view level and right click on it and just say new file. And we will call that file as the, very careful over here while you type detail view dot view dot xml. So your view is done. Now you can just come over here in it and just take things from the create view. Just do a control A, control C, and get rid of it. Come to the detail view and paste it. And come to the top and first change the ID so that should not get any conflict uh, with the ID detail that. And here we're going to say uh, detail. So this is the detail. And very quickly we'll go also. And first, let me just do the changes over here. It is the detail view, exactly the same name that you have passed. So let me just check detail view, detail view. So exactly the same name now. Just go into the I-18 and also and pass it in the um, so we'll pass that in the title section over here. Let's copy this thing X title and paste it and say detail view. Just a heading for it, and we'll say Control V. What was the thing that was there in it? That was detail, and I'll go to this part and say detail equals my detail view and X title for the detail view. And yes, so yeah, this is the thing that I'm going to do. And for the rest of the things, maybe I won't be doing it, but you should be doing that thing. Okay, so now my detail is done. Now let's go into the control section and just go to the new file and exactly type the same thing that you have passed over here. Detail view dot controller dot js. Hit enter, and let's take the app controller and do a control A, control C, rather than taking the app controller. We can just take, okay, because it's got a base thing in it. So I don't want to take it. Let me just take a create view controller. Let me see how many codes are written in there. Lots of code written in it. We need to remove a lot of it from there. Okay, so fine. For now, I can just take this one. I just took it from the thing called as customer, and I'll just go to the detail view controller. That's completely empty right now. I'll paste it. You can just pick any code from any of the controllers, no problem. I just chose this one. So let me just remove the codes from here on create, on search. Let me just remove things from here and on search. We don't need on search in it. Remove the comma. Um, on row selection. Okay, I might need that. And the get data. So this dot get data is there. All right, so I'm keeping it right now. Or shall I? Just I'll just remove the things from here. so that things should not become very confusing. Even this should be removed from there. And yes, now you see on init is completely empty. Even I will remove this. Remove it. No confusion at all. Just remove everything. That'd be empty completely. And then, okay, these things are not a problem. And it is pointing to the base controller. So still it's not a problem if it is pointing to the base controller. And what you need to change over here is the name of your view, and that's called as a detail view. So then you just check detail view. Detail view is perfectly all right. So you see, we have made both the detail view controller.js and the view for it, same thing. Now we have the view. The next job is to go to the manifest level and create the instances for these views over there. So how we will do that? We will go to the manifest and routes. We need to just make a routes and targets for it. So easy job. Just pick any of it. Control C, a comma. We are right now into the route section, and just we're gonna paste it. And just a mild change over here. We'll say just a detail, a route detail view. You can provide any name over here. And here we will say route detail, detail target, and target detail view. Just copy the whole thing from here to here. Control C. So you see our routes have been done now. Routes done. Now let's go into the section that's called as targets. And here we will, you see the first target. Let me just expand it. The first target, the second target, and our third target that we're going to make. So yes, we'll just paste it, colon, and just hot it, and just pick the two things from the top and paste it over here, and just say that as ID detail. At the control level, I did ID det. So here's ID detail. And exactly you need to pass the same name, ID detail view. All right. So now you see the detail view name is exactly the same. And just yes. So now we can just come and save it and come to our code to see if you're able to navigate. So did we pass? So what name do you need to navigate from here? We need the route name, and the route name is route detail view. Control C, come to, and also we need to change the pattern over here. Let's call it as a detail right for now and save it. Don't have to actually save it. We can, yeah, it's auto saved. Come to now the create view controller. Create, not the create view, but I just get rid of it. And the base controller, we don't need it. I18 also, we don't need it. Customer view, we don't need it. Customer view, we don't need it. And detail view controller. Okay, we need the customer view controller over here. Come to this part, and where we were writing the codes. Oh wait, this one on row selection. Just pass the name of the route. So O route nav2 route detail view. Now I think it would be sufficient enough to route because we have now created every required stuff, the prerequisites for it. Let's go to the customer detail and now get rid of everything. We come to and let's wait for it. We just we need to just wait for it, and if we hit any of the records, every click will take us to the next view. So let me just click on it, and you see not. All right, so it's a detailed view. This is what we actually want to see. All right, and also in the detailed view, since we copied it from the create view, which is why we are getting these fields in it. Otherwise, it's just the same thing. So you can see the detailed view that's written over there. So every click on the record will bring you to the same page. All right. And now we need to just go and handle the things for the detail. So since we got the context from here, we need to pass this context to the next page, because if you come to the top to the URL section, you can just see that we get a detail, and every click is not providing an index on the URL, right? So we need to just pass that one. So for that, we need to just come over here, give a comma and a curly brace, and let's say we'll say this as index detail. And let's go to the index level. And also we're getting the index from here. So we'll just pass the index. So this is the one that's getting a 0, 1, 2, 3, whatever. And it will be passed in this placeholder that we're going to make at the manifest level. And can you tell me where shall I add the placeholder? Where shall I add the placeholder in it? Exactly which pattern? We have got three patterns over here. In the detail view, of course, so we just come over there, make a slash, a curly brace, and a curly brace. And since I copied the thing, so it's a good practice that if you make things first over here, then copy the things and write the things at the at wherever it's used. Or if you first made it over here, then copy it and then paste it to the other places. Okay, so that you should not end up writing it's in a wrong way. All right, so now we can just again come to the page over here. Um, I'm sorry. Let me just hang on for a second. Um, hey, what's the problem with it? Nothing is coming over here. There isn't any problem. Let me just go back. Okay, we have it. Now we can just go to uh, 23, and it takes us to the detail view with these things. Now let's go and change the detail view with inputs and label. I'm just going to make everything as label now, label, and I'm just going to copy it and paste it for all the input fields, and input fields and this. And now the button should be nothing over here. It's just the detail views, so we don't need a button at this point. So let's let's place that at the bottom after the toolbar spacer, because we need a button over there that would be called as mm, press on edit. On edit, and the name of the button would be edit. So let's copy this edit and go to the place that's called as I18 and properties. Mm, and we can just come over here and say just edit at the X title detail view. So now we have got the edit. Now you see. So what the changes that I've made is I've changed all the input fields into labels. And now I need to just provide, I don't need any ID for any of the things. It's not required actually. So just get rid of the IDs. We don't need the IDs for this thing. It's simply plain. Uh, Also, what we can do over here is for the label, we need to do the binding with the text. And text equals uh, the curly braces over here. And now let me just get the model name. And we know it's a customer model. Customer model. And what is the name of the field? So for now, I will just go to the local service and get the field from there. So it's what is it? Is date of join. Okay, so let me just get date of join and come to the detail view and paste it. So you see, I'm just passing the absolute path, sorry, the relative path over here to the text. And now the type is date. There's nothing called as a type over here, so just get rid of it for now. So we have just got the label. And in that label, we have got a date of join. And let's copy this thing for all of the things, like paste it over here, here, and here. And now come to the metadata file and copy the first one, customer ID, detail view, paste it on top, come to the next one, currency, copy and paste it at the currency and come to the customer name and paste it over here, customer name. Now, you see I've got a label and I'm sorry, what have I done instead of passing text over here? I just passed the label. I'm so sorry, which I did not see. It should be the text. Paste it. Why will we have two labels over there? Paste it. Done it. Now let me just take you to the part where we have the output of it, where we expect that our data should come. All right. So simply we have the simple form in it with label and text and simply the binding. And we have also passed the context over here. And let's see, will the binding happen? So of course, we won't see any binding over here. That's so let's go to now the detail view. Go to this page and you don't see anything over here. All right, so let's go to the um, detail view controller. And at this part, since we have passed um, the pattern, so we're going to just get the pattern and to the route pattern mesh then. So for that, we need to first get the router. So let O router equals this dot get router. Is it base controller? Yes. So this dot get router. Once we get the router object, we're going to do the route pattern mesh. ED meshed route PATT, okay, pattern meshed, and we'll say this dot private function. So pass this thing on route meshed and passing this inside it. Copy this thing, come over here and say on route meshed. Then there is a function and you need to pass the O event over here. O event, and we know let index equals O event dot get parameter. Get parameter arguments dot arguments and and mm, mm, okay, I don't know what I should be writing. I don't even know parameter. There's a need to be careful of the spelling or index or even get parameter. So even when you are working on it, you don't have to worry. Just go to O event, console log this O event, and get the help from there. See, the idea is to get that one to index number. That's the main point. I need to just go into the debugging mode and get that one, two, three, the path that you are getting from the top, that the route pattern mesh, right? Since I remember this part of the story, which is why I wrote it. Otherwise, I could have gone back into the debugging mode and saw what the thing was over there. All right, so let's go now and in the debugging mode and see how we can get our route inspect route mashed into the sources tab. Right now, you can see how many controls we have got. You see that we don't have the detail view controller right now. Okay, we don't have a detail view controller right now. Once you hit this piece of code, it goes under row selection change and just one big. So you see index equals 0. And now you just keep check over here at this point because right now the detail view controller has not been loaded. So you see these are important stuffs that you should be seeing. So if I hit a click, so you see now the detail view controller has come. So now the detail view controller has loaded itself. So I'll just put some breakpoints over here and it won't show up because it already went past this point and I can see there's a mistake in it. This dot get router. And now just come back to the code again and very quickly we'll just hit the things and we will go into the detail view part in one shot now. Go to inspect and just wait for it. Uh, Hit play. Okay, let's see what happens if we just hit this on route pattern mesh. So let me just go back. There is some problem over there. Inspect now. 25. One hit. Second hit. Why is it not taking me to the next page now? There's a problem over here. What's the name? Is it not route pattern mesh? Is it not route pattern mesh? Are we not getting the router object over here? We already got the router, right? So detail view, leave it. Come on, just quickly go to the create view controller. There's nothing in it. Customer view. There's also nothing in it. And what is the name? Is it not route pattern mesh? Or router? Attach or route dot attach. Nothing, no root name required over here. Attach route pattern. Attach. It's attach pattern mesh, right? Or route attached route pattern match. What was the name? Or attached route pattern match. Are you sure it's the thing? Okay, fine then. Wait. For router to attach route pattern match. Wait. There's still a problem, I think. Attach route pattern match. Now just come. Let the new code come now. Let me just hang on for some time. So just pass index detail. Let me just also cross check. Otherwise, it is index detail. Copy it and paste it over here. Index detail. Once I got the detail, then I need to prepare the complete path. So let's say let s path equals the, you need to do concatenation. So you will write the customer model, and then add a plus and say you got the index. So you see, you're preparing this. You're preparing this absolute path, and then you will get the. Once you got the absolute path, can anybody tell me what should be doing from here? We got the path. This is what we wanted to do. We got the, so bind it with what? With what? To the, what do you want to bind with what? Okay, we got the context path, now complete path. What do you bind it with? Views, correct. Let view, view. This dot get view. Once you've got the view, you will say that view dot bind element as path. So now it's done. So you got the path, you got the view object, and then you bound the view to the element path. Okay, you bound the view to this S path. Okay, now but you will see that still the data won't come, because now the view, this second view, knows about that absolute path, but still the data won't come. And here you would just now check. Let me just remove the debugger from there and just come over here for the, in the customer details, wait for it to load, and after that we will move into the next page by clicking on the records. So once we click on the records, you will see that we are not. Now you see this is the record. Let's say you see still the data is not coming over here. Now, can anybody tell me what the problem is right now? Why we are not seeing the record over here? Okay, does the model or does the view know about the model? Where is the model set? Where is the model set? Which model are we referring to right now? Customer model, in your case, the flight model, okay? And where is that flight model? Do you know that? Let's go to the customer controller and see over here. Here is the model. You see that? Where? Here, at this point. At the on init. You see at the on init, the model is there. We pass the this.getData. And get data is this thing. Here is the model, customer model. Now we want to set the model at the app level, not at the view level. Okay. So there is one process to set the model at the app level, that you can just pass the model at the manifest, so that all the views should know about the model, right? So this customer model, I'm going to just put that at the manifest now. And let's come back over here. Control C, go to the manifest.json. Inside the model section, come over here at the top. You see you already have a model. That's your default model. Now I'm just going to paste it, customer model, and use the curly brace and just put the type equals sap.ui.model.json dot JSON model. Done it. Come to the to the section that's called as models, where you have the other models. Just make another model, customer model over here, and just say the type of the model. All right? Just this thing, and your model is done. You don't have to do anything at all. If you, and just there's a property that's called as type. Just pass this thing inside it in the type, what kind of model it is. It's a JSON model. And now just refresh it also. Now, do you think still if the model is set at the global level, do you think the data will come? Will the data come? Yes? Okay, the data still won't come because at the control level just come, you're still creating a new model over here. Do you see that? You set the model um, at the manifest level, but still you are making the model, you're constructing the new model over here, setting the model with the data. Don't do that. You got the O data, right? You got the O data and you have the model. Just call the model over here rather than now. Let's say we have the model at the manifest. Say, let J model, that is JSON model, that is already there, the manifest. How do you call a model? You say that because we are inside. Have we used? Okay, it's an arrow function, no problem. This dot get owner component dot get model. What is the name of the model? The name of the model is customer model. Once you've got the model, now you're going to set the data. J model dot set data, not load data, set data. Which data? That's coming from the backend O data. Control C, paste it, dot results. Done it. O data results. And now you will see that the customer, that's a view two, that's a detailed view is also getting the details from there. It's a very important point that I mentioned right now. You don't have to make the model now. The model is already made. So you need to just call the model. Once you call the model, you just set the data. Why not load the data? Because we already have the data in this file, in this O data over here. We'll not load it. We're not referring to any file right now. It's already there in this variable O data. Okay. And this O data is holding the data. So we need to just set the data to that thing. And this customer model is already set at the app level. So the detail view or any other view will also know about the model. Let me just go back to the customer detail now. Go back to the page and okay, the fresh page. And now we hit on it, and you see the data is coming now. Once we set the model at the manifest and you see the data is coming. Now, if you have done this part of the code, the extra that I said right now, if you have done it, then we can just go to the detail view and change the format of the date over here. You see that this date stuff is coming in this way with the time stamping and those things. So we need to just go over there and we need to go over there and change the binding of it. So let me just keep it right now like this and paste it. This is the earlier one. Now I'm going to just change a bit of it. Make the curly brace. And it's an object. Whenever you see a curly brace, it's an object. When you have an object, then you need to put two things in it, the property and a value, when you have got a lot of it. So this is how you make it. So what's the property is the path. path and a comma, and then enter it. And then we have got the, I think the type, I think it's the type. And type is sap.ui.model.date type. And yes, now still showing some issues with it. Okay, the path we have not passed inside it. So this is the path. We've got the path now. With this path, date of join, I've got a type SAP UI model. And let me just confirm it also whether it's true or not. I think the type is not the one. Mm, okay, it's type. What we have just missed in it is you already have a double quotes. So you need to just put a single quote inside it, and then you will get rid of the errors. You see that? So in this text, I have got path, one property in curly brace, type, another one. And now just passing these two stuffs, we can just come and check if we really have those in the right format now. So let's come. All right, so see, let's hit Akarshan, and you see the date of join is not coming. There is some error, I suppose. So let's fix the error. Let's go into the inspect section, look into the sources console, resolve type SAP UI model date. So let's go over there and see. Okay, we need to put type also before it in this section, SAP UI model type, and then the type is date. SAP UI model type date. Now it will work properly with it. Go to the first page and hit Soumya till you see them. It's not working. Console. There is no error actually, but we'll just check out what the problem is. So this is the route name of the first route customer view. So come to the component and pass this thing over here. This dot get router nav to route customer v27. So every time it will just move to the first view. We had trouble over here every time it was loading the second view, the third view. So now it will load the first view every time. Wait for it. You see that now it loaded the first view for us, Soumya, and you see there's a problem with the date still. I don't know what the problem is, but it should not actually give me the problem. So just hang on for a second. I need to just actually check what the problem is. Why the date is not coming because of this curly brace. We don't have to use a curly brace. The reason is that we already have a curly brace over here and we are not passing any object or anything inside it. So it's just the customer model date of join. And now I'm going to remove this part for now just to show you that there wasn't any problem in it. And let's go to the customer detail view now and just check. Okay, you see that? Let's hit on frame. And this time you'll see the date with 14th of April 2025. There isn't any format in it because we did not pass MMDDYY in any particular format. So the date is coming the way it should come. So yes, so now we move into the next part of it. And the next part is once we get this, once we get this thing, we have got the edits at the bottom over here. Now on the press of edits, we need to move to the next page now. That would be the update page. So right now the edit button is not working because we did not put any code. And uh, so let's go into the edits and make our way out, work our way out. So let's go. Let's go into detail view controller, and we'll say that was the name of the function on edits. On edits, come back to the detail view, put a comma over there, and say on edit, and the function and the braces, and just say this dot get router. And once we get the router, let o router equals this thing, and we'll say o router dot nav2, and nav2 where there is an update view there we want to nav2. So we'll say route update view, but we don't have any route update view in the manifest because we have not created it. So why are we doing that? Just to check if the edit button, when we press on it, click on it, it's working or not. So we're just doing the on edits on it. Right now, if you come over there and try to hit the edits, try to hit the edit, it won't take you anywhere because it will say that there isn't any. Do you see any view or controller that's called as the update view? So if you don't have it, let's go make it view new file, and we're going to say that as update view dot xml. Done it. So let's take the detail view and let's paste it. Rather, we will take the create view and paste it because right now we need input fields and those things. So let's come over here, Control A, go to the create view, okay? Create view and go to the now update view over here and paste everything that you see in the create view. The only thing that you need to change over here is it would be the update page, ID update page, and the title would be uh, title update. Copy this thing, come to I18N properties. You have got a new thing now. Let me just paste it over here and copy this title. Control C, come over here, V, and make it as, hang on for a second, and make it as update. And now put it over here, detail update, and make it now update view. And don't need anything right now. And this thing also. So it's a simple thing that we've been doing. So you don't have to wait for me to actually do it. The only thing is that I just made a controller and a view for the update view. And I copied the code from the create view into the update view. So don't exactly follow me. Just understand what I'm doing. I'm just creating a update view and the controller for it. So when I make the controller for it, I'll copy the code from the create again. So come to a new controller, new file. I'll call that as update view dot controller dot js, and I'll take the create view controller, and because the codes are reusable in it, now I'm just gonna go to where's the create view controller? Do a control A on it, and now get rid of create view controller. Come to an update controller and paste everything. And now just change the name of the view on top over here and say that as update. Rest of the things, just leave it the way it is. We have got the update view now with the controller and other things, those are there in it. And yeah, everything is cool now. So forget this controller now. You just copied the code from the create view controller and pasted it in the update view controller. The only change that you made over here is this place and nothing else. So now we have got the update view with a simple form that was there in the create view. Now it's the same kind of a thing over here. Don't worry. And we just changed the things. And of course, you see on the top, the name of the controller has to be actually update view. So I just forgot it. Update view. So yes, everything is now cool. Update view. Making the controller and changing the ID and these things and keeping all of the codes the way they are. And this is what I've done. So if you really no, put update over here, update UP over there so that you can just have, no ID conflict. Now you get the point. So now you just need to pass the address and you need to pass again the same thing that we did in the previous page. Okay, we exactly need to do the same thing, the element binding to this page. Once this page comes to know about it, it will simply bind the data over there with the input. So let me just put the value for the input field, value the property and the curly brace, and this is what I'm going to do. Again, I'm going to pass the customer model over here. With the field name. So where will I get the field name from? I'll get the field name from the metadata and the customer ID, the first one, and come to the update view, paste it, the relative path over here, and now copy the values so that it will be easy for you to handle it. Come to this part, make some space, come to this part and make some space, and the last one over here, and do it. Now just paste the relevance, like the customer name, pick the customer name from here and pass it in the update view instead of customer ID. Now I've got a customer name. And then I'll come to the metadata and take the currency, go to the update view and pass the currency over here. Then I'll again go back to the date of join, copy it and come and paste it to the last one. And now you see everything is done for me. With the button name that's create, it should not be create. Now the button name would be update. And I'll just take the button from here, update, and go to the i18n file once again. And for the update view, I'll just use this equals update, save it, and now come to. So nothing very important I've done over here. Simply pass the property that's value, and you know how to do the bindings with it. And for each of the things, it is just getting the value. Later on, I'll do the changes in terms of it in the value for the date of join. You know, the thing that I did just a short while ago, I'm going to do the same thing over here as well, so that you should exactly get the date in the format it looks for. Otherwise, if it is not in a certain format, it's not going to, work for the update. Okay, so okay, for now it's ID update and type is date and those kind of things. Fine, okay. Oh, we don't need this date type right now. Okay, for now we can just leave it and see what the current status is. So the current status is that we have got a view and have we made the entries in the manifest? Yes or no? Have we created the update view in the manifest, routes and targets? Yes or no? No. So let's go and create the routes for it first. So copy this piece of code, Control C, make a comma, paste it, and just call it as route route update, route update. And now the index, I'll call that as index update, and the detail, instead of detail, I'll call that as update, update, and the target, I'll call that as target update view, target update. I'm just going to copy this target update, come to the target section, put a comma over here, and just paste it, a colon, a curly brace, done. Parting, and I'll take these two things from here, paste it over here, and now I'm going to pass this ID detail to be ID update, ID update, and then I'll just call that as an update view. Update view, you see exactly should match the same name that's over here. Update view and everything is full now, and save it, refresh the page, and now at least on the press of the button, it should take me to the, what's the route view name? Let me just check. It's called as route update view. Let's go to the detail view section, detail view controller, and you see it's the same name. Let me just paste it again on edits. So on edits, when you press on the first on the button over here, you will see that it should navigate. That means this piece of code that is written on the detail view controller, on press of edit button, it should just navigate me to the next view. All right. It won't do a binding or anything, but it will just navigate it. And let me just go over there, and on the head of, let's say, Yukti, I will just go to the next page now, and you see the data is coming. And now on the hit of the edit button also, it should take me to the next page. And it's not. Let me just go and very quickly check what the problem is in the console. On the console over here, the segment index update is required. Okay, since we passed the segment index update in the manifest, which is why it's looking for this placeholder. For now, I'm just removing it just to show you that we are able to navigate to the next view. So I just remove that part from there. And after that, I'm going to add it in a short while, because we need those patterns, and then we're going to match the pattern in the next view. Okay, so let's remove the thing from there, come over here. It will automatically navigate to the first page. Let's hit Madhav again, hit edit. Now, do you see that it takes me to the update view? But the problem is, since it's update, it should always consist of the primary keys over here and the data as well. I don't see any data coming over here because we have not done the binding. So once we get the path from the when we get the path over here, the path that we are looking for, the index, okay, then we can just do the element binding again. And when we do the element binding, the way we did that in the previous page, things are going to come back over here. All right. And then if you want to do any update, you can just make this ID field disabled. That means go to the detail view, because details, we don't need these things. Manifest, of course, we need it. We don't need the customer right now. We don't need the update view, of course. So come to the input field over here and say that as enabled equals enabled enabled equals true, so false. So this way you will get the input field disabled. And now inside the date section, I'm just going to make some changes. The one that I made right a short while ago. So here I'm just going to get this curly brace. Now here I'm going to pass three properties inside it. The first property is the path, and this thing, and enter. So you get this thing. And the second thing, that's called as the type type, and now the curly brace again, the single quotes again, I'm sorry, and then come to the last one and say the options. It's called as format, format option, format option, and just hit this thing. Format options. It's S. Now it went away. Here I'm going to put the path, the same date of join, and type would be sap.ui.model.type dot, and the type is the date type, and the format option is the in the format option again there is a curly brace. Again, there's a curly brace. Let me just move the ID to the next step. And that's called as patterns. Which pattern you need the things in, and the pattern is I need it in Y, I need in Y, and then it is MM and DD. So it's gonna get me the things in this fashion now. So you see, why do I need this thing? I don't need this thing over here. Okay, now it's done. So this way I can get the things in it. So up to this point, I've just fixed upon the date stuff. You don't have a date, so don't need this thing. Since I have a date, so I just used it. Now coming to um, the edit now. So let's check in the go to the update view controller. Now, now just update view controller. No, we need to go to the detail view controller first. Detail view controller. Now you see this part is getting me the index. Now here is a question for you. This part is getting me the index. I want to use the same index over here, right? I want to use the same index, 3, 4, whatever is coming from the first view, Akash. Whatever is coming from the first view, you're going to answer me now this question that I want to use this index, right? Because I want to match the pattern when I navigate to the update view and the index is already over here. I want to use the same index in this by saying that, you know, nope, the index is already over here. The index is already over here. I want to use the same index because I'm getting the same index, right? When I move from the first page to the second page, I got the index. I want to use the same index to bind the third view. So I want this index over here. It's already, we don't have to take the pain of making the index again, right? So we already have this index in this line. How will I get the index over here? This dot, where shall I write it? Line number? Line number? Very good. Line number? Where shall I write it? You said the right thing, Akash. I'm happy. Tell me, where shall I write it? Yep. Line number? So since you want to use it globally, say this dot index, right? So since this dot index is actually used over here also, so you see previously it was index, now you need to make it this dot index and done it. Over here also, we're going to just make the, we need to, what was the name of the manifest that we just, let me just do a control Z, index update, take this placeholder, come to this part, paste it, and say this dot index now, this dot index. Done it. Since I want to reuse it, which is why I got it from here. Now this dot index, whatever this index is over here, the same index is over here, and that's going to become the route over here. So you see, index detail also has the same route, the one that's over here. Just the name is different, but the values for both the placeholders are the same. All right. And now if you come to the customer detail page, and now if you click on, let's say, Arun, go to the next page, and you see the data is coming over here. Now if you press the edit button, you see, did you see that it come with an 8? Same 8 over here. That means the pattern is again coming over here. Now we have to do the route pattern match. We got the pattern 8. Now we have to match it. Once we match it, we got the 8, 9, 10, whatever we're getting from the previous page. The idea is we have to make the path, the absolute path for it, so that we can do the bind element on it, element binding on it. Once you do the element binding and provide the context path to this form, all the data will come and sit over here. All right. So how will we do that? We will go to now to the update view controller. Where is that update view controller? And in it, we're going to say let o router equals this dot um, this dot get router. Once we get the router, we say o router dot attach route pattern matche the matched, and inside we say this dot on on route matched. It's a private function, so pass it. If you don't pass it, no problem. Don't think it's a mandatory stuff, but it is good practice to do that. Otherwise, how will somebody know that it doesn't have a reference with the view on route meshed? And the next argument that I'm going to pass is this in it. Now I'm just going to copy the route pattern meshed, come over here, make some room. On the route pattern meshed, I'm going to say function. And once I make the function, I can just come over here and say, O event has to be there so that it can register the thing from where the route is actually coming. And we'll say let the index that we actually want to have equals o event dot get parameter. The parameter is the arguments and the name of the thing is index update. So where is the update view controller? Over here. I'll just pass it. So once I get this index, I will just prepare the S path. And my S path would be the same S path, the customer model. The customer model with a slash in this thing, and just add a plus to it and index. Once we get the index, then we need to get the view. Let's O view. Here we are in the update view. So this dot get view. Once we are in the same view, we don't have to pass any ID. It's the controller of the same view. Once we get the view, we'll say O view dot bind element is the method. Bind element with the S path. And now what we expect is that everything should come in the way we are expecting it to come. If this part is clear, let's check out for the spellings or anything. O router attach route pattern mesh, and it's correct. So let's just go and check the things out. So Akarshan, I click on it. And now on edit, I want to edit this thing. It's not even going to the next page. Inspect and look for the problems console. There's a target update view on submit. All right. So for now, there is on submit. That's a problem because there is no on submit. It should be on. Okay. But there is no on submit right now. If you go into the update view, it should be okay. It's on button on submit. It should be on update actually. On the update view, it should be on update because we copied it from the create view, and now come on. On update, and just I'll take this on update and go to the update view controller and just change this name, this thing. And even if you don't do that, just put a comma and still no problem, okay? Because they saw that thing, which is I'm doing it. Otherwise, it was just working fine. You can just go later on. We can just do the on update. And now, if you come to this page now once again and go back, or really went back, just one more step ahead. Wait for it. The first page is going to come, and after that, okay. So let's go for Uday. And yeah, and now on edit, we go to the next page now. And you see the date is coming with 42 Uday INR, and the date, the placeholder is saying put the date for, um, it should be YY DDMMYY. So why is it DDMMYY? Where did I place the placeholder? Let me just go and check update view in the placeholder. Um, just remove the type date. We don't need this type date or anything right now. Why do we put that? And why is it actually giving me DDM and YY? No problem. I'll put that in the same order. But here the pattern shows should come in YYY MMDD. Oh, there is a lot of D in it. Um, just let's wait once again and check. Wait for it. So we are in this page. Hit this one. Go to this page. Hit edit. And now Akarshan 26 USD. So once I do a update, you know what will happen? Why I copied the same piece of code that was there in the create view, the create view controller, because everything would be the same except for the ID that we have to generate. Because in update, you need the ID. So if you go to the update view controller over here, you can see that it's the on update. Before that was on create, exactly the same piece of code. It is getting the ID, preparing the payload for you, and this dot get owner component get model and let entity whatever the thing is, and on create instead of on create over here it should be uh, just update. Why was there on create? It's just update. Okay, so the method name is update. It's going to read the records and it will change the things from here. Record updated. Just change the method name, and we need to dynamically get the ID, because when you do the update, you do it on ID, right? You know that. So we'll just do that. Let me just and after that, once we do the things, we should route to the nav to the same code, nothing new, and record failed. We will say record updation failed. Record updation failed. And yes, uh, so so here I'm stopping for a while, and I want you to create the entity with the ID. Okay, but you have a different set of things, right? So let me just do it for you. So you see, I'm getting the ID from this field. All right, I'm getting the ID over here, SID. So I'm just going to use SID over here. And how do you do that? Let me just come to this point. I'm just going to come to this part over here to show you how I'll do that. I'll come over here. I'll just comment this piece of code because we need to create create this thing. So actually we need the entity set name. Entity set name in braces. In braces you have multiple keys if you have, and if they are string, you need to pass string. For me, it's um just the ID over here. Let's say 23 is the ID, and that's an integer. In your case, if you have got only one key, it should be like this. It should be like this. All right. For if there is no it's integer, it's just 23. If you have got multiple keys, then you need to pass it accordingly, and then prepare your customer entity. So I need to just concatenate the part. So I have this ID. I have this ID that's already coming over here. Every time it reads this field, OID get value. First, it reads the input field object, and then I'm getting the value for it, and I'm also changing it. So the SID is holding things for me in it. So I'm just going to come over here and prepare it. So up to this part, I just need to add a brace. So you see, up to this part, I took it, all right? And then I need 23 after that. So I'll just add a plus, and I say where I'm getting it from. I'm getting it from SID. That's over here, SID. I'm just going to pass that SID over here. And after that, a plus. And what's the next thing that I want to concatenate? The leftover stuff is this. Control C and Control V is done. So my entity is done now. My method is done now. It is also popping up with a message success message, record updated. And on close, what's going to do is going to navigate to the next page. Also is going to clear the fields for all the input fields, and if at all there is an error, it's going to give me the error. So I assume that the code is going to work fine right now. So let's come to this page. Why is it not refreshing? So it's already refreshed or what? Let's go to Tom. Who is this Tom? I need to. So this is the detailed information for Tom. And if I hit edit, so I come to edit. I say Tom update so that I can see that Tom update is there. And yes, I'm just going to hit update. I expect an insertion message over there that the so there's a problem. It says that there's a problem. Insert did not take place. So we just need to go to the console and see, cannot read the properties undefined, get value, update view. Where's this get value stuff? All right, we did not change the IDs. God's sake, how can we do that? Just go and change it. We just change the ID in the view. So just we need to have two things in it: update view and update controller. Nothing is required. Nothing is required. Just come to the update view, take the ID from the input ID up. I'll just take it and go over there, and in the payload section, where it's fetching the things from. Now it is ID update instead of IDCR, the create ID. Now come to the next input field, ID name. Come over there and look for the name and paste it. Now come again and currency. I'm sorry, currency, and come to the controller and paste it. And the last ID is the the date ID. And now I'm going to pass the date ID over here and paste it. And we don't need to change anything, I'm pretty sure. So just wait for it, remove things from there. It will automatically go to the first page now. And this time it's going to update the details. So, okay, so we need to look for the data. Tom, where is Tom? I wanted to update Tom now. Tom, Tom is there, hit edit. And now I'm going to say Tom update. Tom update. All right. So now just go and update. This time it's going to pop up with the message, record updated. On press of this OK, you should go to the first page now to show me whether Tom updated or not. Come to the bottom of the page and see Tom. Tom is gone, actually. Tom completely. Let me just go back and see again why I saw that error. Let me refresh the page now. If on refreshing the page, if I get Tom update, then I'll just pass the onInit function to the app level that is on the base control level. Now you see Tom update in it. Do you see Tom update? I can't see. Why? Okay, the last one, Tom update, right? That means uh, when I come back over here, the updation doesn't take place. All right. That's the only thing that's left. What I will do is that, let me just tell you, I know right now, let me just stop it for a while.